High conflict legal decision-making and parenting time cases are extremely common in Arizona. Typically, that involves circumstances where there's been domestic violence or the parties simply cannot communicate on any level whatsoever. That's a very common occurrence. If that happens, the court will try to provide services to allow them to communicate. For example, communication in writing, things like that, or a journal where you have the journal traveling with the children between parenting households and you keep a journal with what happens at one parent's house and then the other parent's house. If none of that works, then the court will typically adjust parenting time and legal decision making according to what it feels is the best interest of the minor children. In Arizona, if you're in a high conflict situation and it involves children, the best course of action, in my opinion, would be to try to get some counseling or therapy between the two of you and the children. Typically, what most people don't realize, if there's high conflict between them, the children are experiencing high conflict, which is not fair to the kids because they didn't buy into that circumstance. You put them in that circumstance, and therefore it's your obligation to try to provide the services that children need to get them the care they would need to cope with high conflict. So therapy is always a good alternative. Another alternative is to have, depending on the level of conflict, is to have something like a journal that travels between households that talks about what happens with the kids when they're with that particular parent. That's a very, very common circumstance in Arizona. The court can also order one or the other or both parents to go to counseling of some sort to deal with their conflict issues, depending on how bad the conflict is between the parties. And conflicts can get very, very bad.